And welcome everyone to
Enjoy the show.
Welcome to 2023. Enjoy the show.
The first episode of 2023. Can you believe it?
We are here. It is a brand new year.
Yes.
We're stoked. Hosted by yours truly, Arturo.
And I am Billy.
You can see we have a new setup. Just in time for the new year. And
New year, new look.
yes, and new movies and shows and so
Tons
much
of
to
them.
watch.
Tons of them, dude.
And that's what this episode is dedicated to.
The most anticipated for 2023.
We are going to try to get through all the movies and shows, but we're going to play by ear and see if we're just taking too long.
Yeah, definitely.
When we discussed this going into the episode of having our movies and creating our lists.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I had already created a list of just overall everything that I was interested in for the year, and it was a long ass list.
A very long one. It legitimately was like probably almost a 1 minute screen recording.
Just scrolling.
So much.
That's true. That's true.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And then coming up into tonight, I did whittle down. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I did whittle it down. But I didn't realize that we were doing a top 10. I just found this out.
Well, I mean, I did.
In general, a smaller list. So
it was one of those things where I had a lot on the list too, and I'm like, I have to narrow it down to just 10 because if I do any more, it's gonna be
and
forever.
I totally get that, and that makes sense. And then so I did what I thought was whittle it down, but it was 48 movies.
Oh my god!
So I whittled it down again. Right now I'm at 21, but I think a lot of them are going to be the same too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think it's going to just have the conversation flow regardless.
Now mine necessarily isn't in a particular order, but I kind of made it a particular order, so it's not going to. Our list won't be the same.
That's true because I'm going off a release order.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I'm not. I'm going by what I'm the most excited for. Yeah. So we can. We can just go down the list of whatever we're gonna do, separately, or
no. I mean, we could just go back and forth.
Okay. Yeah.
You shoot one off.
You
I'll
go
shoot
first.
One off.
You go first, dude.
One of the movies I was most anticipated. One of the movies I was most anticipating for the year. Well, I already saw was Megan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a horror movie, killer robot, but it was so much fun, and it's this idea that it's this. What happened?
Nothing. The air conditioning or the heater turned off.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yes, and make sure.
And now I'm knocking things over.
And make sure you're speaking into the front of the grill.
Since we have a new setup, clearly I'm still getting used to things.
It's okay.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate it.
It's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
But yeah, killer robot. And what happens when you give a kid a killer robot doll, but also a kid who's going through trauma, and starts relying on the doll as being its closest confidant, and then at some point the robot doll goes crazy as does in these horror movies. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I got a chance to see it in theaters. Because it was an absolute blast.
That's cool. Cool. You saw Babylon too. How was that?
Babylon. Yeah, I mean, well, that was a movie of 2022.
Yeah, but I'm just saying since we're on the it's a movie.
I mean, dude. Babylon, man, that was something else, man. That was such an epic love letter to filmmaking as a whole. It's not a film for everyone. There is some very adult themes in it.
Sure.
It opens up very intensely. I guess in short, if you were to take The Great Gatsby, Wolf on Wall Street, Moulin Rouge, and friggin' Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and threw them all together, you get this film.
Okay.
And it was an epic movie. It's tragic though too.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's tragic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
all of those like old time Hollywood stories are always super tragic, but they're always usually very good movies. So
yeah, no, I freaking thought it was phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to check that out too. So the film that I am looking forward to the most in 2023, which you're probably up there too, is Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah,
the new Christopher Nolan film. Now, I will be that guy and say I am a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I am a fanboy of his. I love everything he has ever done.
Rightly so.
And probably will love anything he does in the future. But I have not seen the trailer for Oppenheimer. I only saw like the teaser clip that they showed in the beginning of Nope. And I guess that, it was literally like, it was just
the countdown, right? And like audio.
No. It was like a small like couple scenes with like Cillian Murphy, and like it showed like basically just him, and that's it.
Okay.
And it was like it was some type of countdown. Yeah, sure, but it wasn't anything like that. You didn't like it was just what a teaser trailer is supposed to do.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I guess that there was like a in Avatar: The Way of Water, there's like a
that was
behind
the
the scenes sneak peek or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I saw a trailer attached to Avatar.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And it's the only thing I've seen. I was under the impression that was the teaser trailer, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember a while back some promotional material of just a countdown in audio, like clips from the film.
I'm sure.
So I'm
that
not
might have been
entirely-
what I saw. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I am wrong a lot of
Find
times,
out.
so we'll see.
But no, that's the movie I'm very much looking forward to as well. I mean, Nolan has never done any wrong, in my opinion.
No.
Every movie he's been behind has been incredible.
Even his weaker movies are still really good.
for friggin' phenomenal.
For me, nothing. Again, yeah, he can do no wrong, and I stand by that wholeheartedly, and I give no fucks.
No, yeah, agreed. And Killian, I feel like just the way he transforms himself into all these roles is just an absolutely amazing job.
And the cast, speaking of that, is just super stacked. You got friggin' Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., fucking, there's literally Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so many of these weren't even in the trailer I saw.
Oh, of course.
Which I thought was wonderful.
Yeah.
Because
And dude, even
they're holding that surprise for the film.
And Alden Ehrenreich is going to be in it. Jason Clark's going to be in it. There's so many big names that I'm sure a lot of them that are kind of on the lower, lower on the list, that they're only going to have really, really small parts and have maybe one scene. But even then, it's just that's just it's gonna be great, dude. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. Another movie that I'm very much looking forward to. I mean, because again, I'm going off release date, so it's gonna be a little off. But
no, that's fine.
So this is Teen Wolf the movie.
Oh yeah,
which is based on the Teen Wolf show.
Yes.
We were talking about a bit off air.
Yes.
So the series, for those who might be unaware, are inspired by the original film from the 80s, but it's very much set in today's world, and there's so many differences. There's so much lore and mythology behind the werewolves. I'm a huge werewolf fan. I'm a huge fan of just horror mythology and monsters, and this show really gets into it. Seasons 1 through 3 are fantastic, and so is the rest of the show. But the fact that we're finally getting a continuation, and that no one really expected, but now it's an actual film, is something that's really exciting to me. And it's going to be on Paramount Plus, and almost everyone's coming back. So it's really cool to have everyone return once more.
Paramount Plus is getting some good stuff, man.
They are.
They're really they're doing it pretty big.
Their
man.
content's doing pretty well. They need to fix their buggy ass app. It glitches so fucking much.
Yeah,
I hate it. I hate using it, and that's a big problem because I like the content.
Yeah,
but it's every time I use it, I have to sign back in.
That's annoying.
If I pause, it won't unpause, and it's a whole fucking thing. But so Paramount Plus, if you're listening, please fix it.
Give him a year's worth of free of no payments or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. What else? Another film you got coming up?
So the next one after that is another movie that comes out on the same day as Oppenheimer, July 21st, Barbie.
Okay, yeah.
I was not expecting. So excited for this movie,
I was expecting this on your list. I just wasn't expecting it this high.
Oh, dude. Literally, it's probably going to be one of the best movies of this year.
It looks really good.
It looks really, dude.
And it's so
Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu, who I did not know was going to be in the movie. He's going to be in it. And dude, freaking Greta Gerwig is a phenomenal director. Have you ever seen the movie Lady Bird?
I haven't, but
great
I heard
movie,
really
man.
Good
It's a great movie, and my sister keeps telling me about Little Women. She's like, that's one of her greater movies.
Yep.
But as far as
it's one of those films that you wouldn't have expected to become a movie, and I feel like surface level, you would think the plot would be surface level, but there's so much that. It looks like there's so much going on in this movie, and I like that.
Yeah. And I just like that it's like Barbie, she goes into the human world and is trying to go back to Barbie world.
Spoiler alert! I had no idea.
That's what the plot of the movie is.
Did you read it somewhere?
On IMDb.
I didn't read it somewhere, therefore it is a spoiler to me.
Oh my god!
Damn it, Billy! No, I wasn't aware. Okay. Let's.
Yeah, and that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know about it, by the way.
I mean, so clearly, for those who might be first-time watchers, we we are both individuals. I feel that try to avoid as much as information as possible for the most part.
Oh yeah,
to
we
try
try
to try to go into things fresh because there's so many trailers these days that literally give so much away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was literally the IMDb plot synopsis. Like when you click on it, like that's what it says.
I don't even click on IMDb until the movie's out.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I try not to do that, but sometimes
I purposely go through for these lists and stuff. I go through Wikipedia. And I just look up like the lists of movies that are coming out because at this point you can only see the plot if you click on plot.
Yeah,
and things like that.
That's what? That's a good point.
You don't see people's scores ahead of time. You don't form a. Yeah. Or I don't have a chance to form a bias leading up to it or anything like that. So, point. But Barbie's gonna be good.
And I'm literally on that day, on July 21st, or the day before on the 20th, I'm going to see both of those movies on the same day.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I feel it's okay. Me personally, because the last time I did that was for Aladdin and Brightburn. And very polar opposite, like tones.
So polar opposite.
And I feel like Barbie and Oppenheimer.
That is again total opposites.
I don't. Yeah, the biggest question will be what are you going to watch first?
I don't care. Probably, I'm going to be honest, probably Oppenheimer
I was going to
first.
say, I feel like watching Oppenheimer first because you're going into something more serious. You're going with that mentality. You're embracing it. And then afterwards, you're watching something a little lighter.
Yeah.
That's like a little, as opposed to going super light.
Yeah, and then going dark. Absolutely,
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Because I went, because like I've done 2 movies in one day many times before. Mm-hmm. I remember when in the middle of like 2020 when COVID was pretty... before the vaccines were coming out and all that type of stuff, like Regal had opened up their theaters in select locations, right? So I remember, and I remember they were doing like, oh, this is the last day we're going to be open for a while, and I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, because there are new variants coming out and all that type of stuff, and cases are going up, we're going to close for another X amount of time. And I remember going to see Tenet and The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Cool.
So I went to see Tenet first, and then I saw The Empire Strikes Back.
That's an interesting double feature.
It is, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm definitely going to see Oppenheimer first and then Barbie second, for the exact reason of like going to something serious. And it's going to be very dark toned. It's going to be a very heavy movie, and I don't want that to be the last thing I see before I go to sleep or something.
I get that. Well, speaking of variants, which reminded me of Loki, the TV show, which introduced us to Jonathan Majors.
Yep.
Within the MCU as He Who Remains, and then now we're getting his variant, Kang, in the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah, that is on my list. I think it's at like number 6 or something like
that.
Most anticipated.
That's my number 1 for February.
Yeah. got my tickets for it yesterday.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hugely anticipated movie.
Very much so.
It's going to impact the MCU in a big way.
Huge way. I saw this post from IGN, and it was one of these things that said like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to be like Captain America's Civil War level type of like I don't want to say serious, but like of importance.
Okay, like impact.
Yeah. How much of an impact?
Yeah, I mean, because this whole saga that's currently happening, because we had the Infinity Saga, which was the first 3 phases of the MCU, and then now we're having Kang be the big bad for this entire thing. So having his introduction was full, real introduction in this film. I think there's just so much at stake. We're going back into the quantum realm. I've only seen the teaser.
Me too.
But it's really cool to see how they're developing things. And already just the little things I've seen, it's cool to see. I mean, I loved her with long hair, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, but having her have the short hair like in the comics was a really cool nod. I like that. Catherine Newton as grown-up Cassie Lang, I think is going to be phenomenal. And of course, Paul fucking Rudd. You can never go wrong.
Duh.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like Michelle and
Michael Douglas
are both having larger roles this time around.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. So
I always found that to be kind of like I wish there was more of them in the Ant-Man movies, especially Michelle Pfeiffer. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, dude.
Definitely. I mean, who doesn't?
Oh, I don't know, but if you don't, that's fine. But you're wrong.
But you're wrong. All right. Well, what do you got next on the list?
Next on the list is the 3rd installment from Ari Aster, Beau is Afraid.
Okay. Oh, that's Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw the trailer for that, and with any Ari Aster movie, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But because Hereditary is the first movie I saw by him, I'm scared to watch his movies. I'm legitimately scared to watch his movies, so I need to know what I'm about to get myself into. So when when Midsommar came out, I saw the trailer for Midsommar and read the screenplay on Reddit because I was like, well, there's no way in hell I'm going to see this movie with fresh eyes. That's another story for another time.
I like that.
And then with Beau is Afraid, I was like, should I watch the trailer? Should I not watch the trailer? And I watched the trailer, and I'm like, what the actual fuck is this movie going to be? It looked... It's going to be wacky. That's all I'm going to say.
I know nothing of it other than the fact that I walked past the poster for it.
Oh, yeah.
At the theater.
The poster that you saw, was it just the one?
It's just Joaquin like on a bench, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
For sure.
Yeah.
It looks wild.
Okay.
It looks fucking wild.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah. Because I think regardless whether or not you are a fan of his movies, you always know you're going to go in for a trip. Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because I know it's his films have been very divisive within the horror community, but no matter what, it's an experience.
And I don't even know if this movie is going to be a horror movie. It definitely looks like it's going to be a fucking weird psychological movie, but is it going to be a horror movie though?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it looks like more of like a dark comedy.
Okay.
To be honest, but Midsommar I consider to be a dark comedy, and that's like a horror movie too.
Midsommar is a fucking horror movie.
I mean, it is, but it's also a dark comedy because it had a lot of funny moments.
Yeah, it could be both, but it's a fucking horror movie.
Of course, I didn't say it wasn't.
Scary as shit.
I didn't say it wasn't. I didn't say it wasn't.
Very uncomfortable.
I didn't say it wasn't.
I just fucking with you. Well, speaking of horror movies,
yes,
that brings me into March and something I'm very much looking forward to. Scream 6.
Yes, that is actually in my honorable mentions. I have 4 movies in my honorable mentions.
Very nice.
Scream 6 is one of them.
Yes, I had so much fun with Scream 5.
Me too.
And I love that how much little we've gotten. First off, I'm surprised that we're getting a movie this quickly, but that did happen with Scream 1 and Scream 2.
Yeah,
that was also
like,
a year difference. Yeah, so the fact that that's happening again is kind of interesting. Yeah. I like that the teaser trailer shows us very little. We're in fucking New York, and it's fucking Halloween.
Yeah, and that's all.
That's all I fucking need.
That's all I need to know. I haven't watched the teaser trailer. I'm not going to watch the teaser. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Nothing. I think a new trailer's coming out soon.
Okay.
But that's all that's been out so far. Yeah. I mean, in the main cast of who was alive in the Scream 5 is back.
Jenna Ortega, I'm still wondering what they're going to do about Neve Campbell.
I mean, as we mentioned in our Scream episode, I think it was, she wasn't going to come back. We still don't know if maybe she is in it, and this has all been some sort of marketing ploy.
Misdirection,
Misdirection, sure. I don't know. But regarding the actual film, to me, what I feel like it hasn't been really touched on, that I think is really exciting, and it's right fucking there. The fact that it's Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first off, that's awesome, but that literally dictates that Ghostface may not be wearing a Ghostface costume. The killer may not be dressed like that.
Oh,
dude.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's great.
It could be fucking anyone.
It could be.
Oh,
I'm into it.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
So yeah, very hyped.
After that, for number 4, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes, you told me about how hyped you are for this.
So hyped for that, and I think it goes without saying why I am. I'm in my mid-30s. I played Super Mario Brothers. Literally, that's the one game I continue to play still to this day, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. But, I grew up on...
Yeah, a lot of us did.
On Mario and Luigi, on Nintendo 64 playing Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, you name it, dude. Like, that's all, like, my childhood wrapped up is Super Mario.
Oh, and there's so much like legacy involved, I guess you could say, yeah.
And the cast is so stacked.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the cast, I gotta say, I'm still not sold on Chris Pratt as Mario. I still hear too much of Chris.
Yeah,
but just Jack Black as Bowser, man.
Jack Black as Bowser is going to be great.
Come on.
Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach.
Dude, she was really... Okay, so that was really interesting to me because of the fact that she hardly uses her real voice for her characters.
Dude, yeah.
She's Argentinian British, and she's constantly playing different ethnicities. So I was really curious as to what voice she would do for Peach. And the voice that she picked somehow sounds warm and comforting to me.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't necessarily expecting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it threw me off in a good way.
And like Seth Rogen's gonna be Donkey Kong, and Keegan Michael Key's gonna be Toad, and Charlie Day is gonna be Luigi. Come on.
Okay,
that's perfect.
Charlie Day was fucking born for Luigi.
Oh, he was. Because you know that Charlie Day is
gonna spastic. Yeah, he's gonna be like this. Yes, like
it's gonna
makes complete sense.
It's gonna be a really fun time. Me personally, I am not necessarily sold on Chris Pratt's voice, but like, I have a feeling he's gonna do just fine. Now, we haven't heard much of his voice.
Like, I'm not against it. I feel like I just hear Chris too much, and I don't hear Mario.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? Where I feel like with them, with everyone else, like I feel the character.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
definitely.
It doesn't deter me from my hype for it at all.
Absolutely not.
Will you be attending Universal Studios Nintendo World?
You know, I would love to go at one point. Yes, I would. You bet. I will block out a whole entire day and save up a bunch of money to go there. You bet. You bet. Of course.
It looks awesome.
It does. Of course.
Just the little things I've seen. So
of course, absolutely,
definitely. Yeah. That's also on my list for when in terms of its release date.
I think it's April 7th.
It is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, going back to March for me.
Okay.
We have Shazam: Fear of the Gods.
That's number 10 on my list.
Nice.
I'm very excited for Shazam too.
Shazam, the first film was just so much fun.
Okay. You and I have always talked about this on and off the podcast, how the DC movies they're good, but I tend to lean more towards Marvel. And you were telling me before convincing me to watch Shazam, I was like, I don't really care to watch it. And you were like, no, dude, you need to watch it. It's like a Marvel movie in the DC world. And I was like, what do you mean? You were like, it's funny. There's really good characters. And the guy that directed Lights Out, I forgot his name. What was his name?
David P. Sandberg.
Okay. That he directed the movie and you liked Lights Out, so check it. And I'm like, okay.
Wait, David P. or David F? I can't remember now. But yes,
David F., I believe.
Yes, you're correct.
So I was in that. All of that was like enough for me to be like, all right, hold on, let me turn it on. And I just remember I texting you a play-by-play of like what's going on in the movie during it. I always do that with you during certain movies. And I had a fucking blast with Shazam, and because it wasn't a conventional DC movie, not to me at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like the Snyderverse movies. You know, I like them all, but Shazam was so different.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious and scary. There was points where it was fucking scary.
He rolled up his sleeves like, I'm a horror director.
I got it.
Yeah,
let me do it.
I mean, Annabelle's in a corner somewhere, but that was more of an Easter egg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's in the pawn shop. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I remember that film because it was definitely released in an era where like all of DC was just very, very dark at the time, very serious. And you know, since then, you know, we've gotten a lot of variety too within the DC films. But that was definitely something very different, very early on, and a sheer contrast to everything else. And I remember describing it to a couple people, including yourself, like, you know, it's more like a Marvel movie. You'd be into it, and everyone that I knew that wasn't into DC and who decided to check this out was really into it.
Yeah, and it honestly made me want to rewatch other Snyderverse movies. Like, you know, I rewatched like Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition. Then I skipped the Justice League, but you know, Justice League, excuse me.
Yeah. 2017 theatrical.
Yeah,
version.
You know, rewatched Wonder Woman and all. And you know, I was just like, you know what, like, fuck, man, like. We won't get into it too much, but like, let's just say that because of that movie, it reignited my likeness for the DCE.
Yeah, no, for a lot of people, I feel Wonder Woman and Shazam coming out back to back in 2017, 2018, like that is what really helped a lot of people like be more open.
Dude, at the time, Wonder Woman was like my favorite superhero movie of that year. I think it was 2017, right?
Yeah.
I think it was my favorite superhero movie of that year. Pretty sure. It was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Mine was Logan. And then it was Wonder Woman.
Logan was good too, man. Oof. That was a great one.
But yeah, Shazam, it looks like Fear of the Gods looks like it's carrying the same spirit as the first film.
Yep.
And we're having the whole family now be the Marvel or the Shazam family.
Yeah.
Rights. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, Shazam, whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it looks really awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna keep developing it. And like Lucy Liu's in it this time as a villain. Helen Mirren.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dude, let's go.
So yeah, it's gonna be a fun.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. And number 5, I have Dune Part 2.
Oh, that's on my list as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
that's a October release, or is that a December
That
release?
is a November release.
November.
Yes.
So Thanksgiving time. That's going to be a big one for the movie theaters. Yeah, that looks friggin' amazing. Florence Pugh is going to be
Yes, she
in
is.
that,
I
and so is Christopher Walken.
Yeah. I was not
dude,
expecting.
I was like,
Ooh,
what the?
Yeah.
What the? Hey, you don't want to go over there. There's a worm in the sand.
Hey, you do them a lot better than I do.
I
There's a
am
worm
still
in the
working.
sand.
It's a big one. Wow. It's still working on it, by the way.
No,
But
that's good, dude. That's good. I love it.
yeah. But no, that's gonna be great. And we'll actually get more of Zendaya in the film.
Yes.
I'm really bummed out that fucking Oscar Isaac's not gonna be in it. Dave Bautista's gonna be
Spoiler
coming
alert,
back.
he's dead.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Can't
I
believe
loved
it.
the first Dune, and I think that was
So
a
good.
film we talked about a lot for a good while too. And I remember we were talking about like you would tell me like someone's so like they're looking into casting. I'm like, wait, let's not get too excited. Everything's reportedly at the moment,
Yeah.
but then it's just nice to have official confirmation and like seeing all these
Yeah.
because it was already an ensemble cast.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
now
God,
it's just
yeah.
everyone that's been added, and it's like it's just so exciting.
Yeah.
And it felt so real for a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
So another film that we're very much looking forward to. The
Very
second part
much.
of. Yeah.
So it's gonna be so dope. What about you? What's next on for you?
Next is a film that kind of caught me off guard. I had read the description when it was supposed to come out last year, and it got pushed to this year. And just seeing the trailer was like, what the fuck? This is awesome. And I am talking about 65.
Dude, that's number 4 on my honorable mentions. That looks so good. That looks so good.
Adam Driver as
Yeah.
a space marine somehow accidentally time travels to a world full of dinosaurs.
I know,
What
dude.
the fuck? And it's like horror. Like,
And it's like if Jurassic Park. I what did I say? I was telling my mom about this movie because she loves Adam Driver.
Kylo Ren in Jurassic Park without the Force?
No, not necessarily, but that is a good description. If you're trying to sell the movie to somebody, that'd be a good one. No, what did I was like, oh, it's like, you know what it reminds me of too?
Yeah.
If you played this video game when you were a kid.
Turok.
Yeah, dude, it reminded me of that a lot.
yeah.
I was like, why don't they just call it that?
It really does look like so much like Turok. And for those
Yeah.
who may not be aware, Turok was this epic first-person shooter where you were killing dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But it was like in a desolate jungle and like...
Yeah. You want to know what I told my mom that it was like? I go, imagine if Planet of the Apes was dinosaurs
Ooh,
and Adam
yeah.
Driver was in it. That's
Yeah,
what I said.
I can see that.
That's what I said.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that looks so good. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing it on Instagram randomly as a reel. And I think I sent you the trailer. I didn't know if you had seen it
yeah,
before.
you did.
though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did. And I'm like, dude, like, because the trailer had come out like 2 days prior to that or
Yeah.
something that week. But no, that looks something. It looks super exciting.
Yeah.
Ublester, if you're listening, buddy, this movie is made for you. I remember.
Why is that?
Because he's a huge fan of
Love
Adam Driver.
dinosaurs, yeah.
He loves time travel. He's a fan of dinosaurs. So it was like, to me, it was like someone took
Oh, yeah.
all these epic things that he's into and made a movie around
I remember.
it.
I remember when you did Capes and Monsters. You and him did like the best time travel movies.
Yes, we did.
I remember that. Yeah. You
That was
guys
the
were
first
geeking out
episode he
about
was
it.
on. So Uble, if you're listening, I'm sure you're excited. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited too. Yeah.
What about after that? What's next for you?
I mean, after that, I got John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay, yeah. I don't have that on my most anticipated. I'm gonna see it.
Okay.
Of course. I've seen all the other ones, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun time, of
Oh
course.
hell yeah! I mean, I love the John Wick films. I love Keanu Reeves. He's been one of my favorite actors since like Point Break. You know, and being a kid and just watching him like do his stuff, and then just everything he's done since
Yeah.
then has always been Constantine, The Matrix.
Oh, Constantine is so good,
So
man.
fucking good. It's so underrated.
They're making a sequel to that, aren't they?
Fuck yeah! Finally, like I remember being at the gym. This is how long ago that was. Shortly after the first film came out, and talking about what they wanted to do for a sequel and go hard on the R, but then it didn't get developed, and then now back to the.
Is Rachel Weisz coming back too?
I don't know, maybe.
I hope so.
But now that we're in the, what do they call it? The Keanu-sance Yeah. Keanu's Renaissance.
Yeah.
You know, because of John Wick. That's basically what it came down to.
Yeah,
John
no,
Wick. It was a
100%.
sleeper hit, and every movie's been fucking badass. And I love
so
this
good.
series, and I can't wait for number 4.
Yeah. After that, after Dune, we already talked about it, Ant-Man and the Wasp. But after that, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, baby.
Okay.
I am so excited for that because I'm sure you can attest to this too. In the 90s, Saturday mornings, you get up, Beast Wars.
Oh, and that theme song.
Oh, dude. So, on TikTok,
Yeah.
there was, you know, when you're scrolling through your For You page, you stumble across people's live feeds, right? Now there was
I didn't know, but yes.
so sometimes when you're scrolling through,
Okay.
you'll see like a live feed of like someone who's on live. and they'll-
Okay, gotcha.
It's like it's almost
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Twitch stream. Think
Got
of
it.
it.
Okay.
So this guy, I don't follow him, but this I do now.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was watching Beast Wars, and I'm like, where the fuck is he watching it on? But he was like, oh, it's all my DVD collection. I'm just like, dang, dude.
Michael Chodowski, if you're seeing this, you still have my season 2 DVD. I want it fucking back.
Did you have any of the Beast Wars toys growing up?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Cheetor, that was my guy, man.
No, I still they're at my parents' house, but I still have a handful. I have Silverbolt, which was the Wolf Eagle.
Yeah.
The fusion in
Yeah.
season 2. I have a Cheetor, Transmetal 2 Cheetor, Transmetal 2 Dinobot.
Wow.
I have the original Dinobot.
Uh-huh.
I have the Fusors. That's what Silverbolt was. He was part of that line of the mixed animals because I had the bull bat of that as well.
Uh-huh.
I have Megatron, the Transmetals version, the T-Rex. I have the Dragon Megatron.
Okay.
This was my thing, like that I actually
Sure.
got to collect because like we grew up very broke, which is totally fine, and I got to appreciate a lot in growing up. But once like Beast Wars came out, like that was the toy series I was actually able to collect, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I know they're adapting some of that story into this Transformers
Oh,
movie.
good,
And
good.
Even if
good.
it's just a fraction of it, because I didn't enjoy the last couple of Transformers films as much as the first couple. But Bumblebee was awesome.
Bumblebee was
I fucking
great.
loved Bumblebee.
Loved Bumblebee.
So if they do something more along the lines of the feel of Bumblebee in the first couple films, fuck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, dude, this is just the sheer fact that we're getting a version of Optimus
Like,
Prime
fucking
and Cheetor
finally, dude,
and
you
fucking
know?
Rhinox. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
It's about fucking time.
Yes.
They should have. I'm done. I'm happy they're getting it.
Same.
Yeah. After that, for me,
Yeah. What do we
and
got?
it will be for you as well, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes. Yep.
That is gonna be fucking phenomenal, dude.
Like, the first movie was amazing.
Oh my god, probably. That came out 2018.
2018.
I think that was like. Oh, there was a lot of superhero movies that came out in 2018. That was really. Like, especially for also an animated movie too.
Well, that's the thing too, because the film did clearly benefit from a theatrical release.
Oh, yeah.
But even without that, I feel even if you look at every year, there are a lot of animated superhero movies that come out.
Absolutely.
But there's not all of them that go up and hit that fucking. I just hit myself. That fucking reached the bar that Into the Spider-Verse did.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just done so well. The animation style, the story. I love how it introduced us to Miles Morales and his version of Spider-Man without putting down the other Spider-Man version.
Absolutely.
I feel that's unfortunately been that was at least a big issue with a lot of these passing of the mantle type of roles that were happening in movies and shows, where they were constantly putting down the original character to build up the new character.
Yeah.
This film didn't do that, and it presented things in a great way. And Gwen was awesome, and the voice cast. Speaking of Gwen,
amazing.
Haley Steinfeld. We have
Oscar
Jake
Isaac.
Johnson, Oscar. Well, in this film now we have. He showed up at the very end. Across the Spider-Verse. So, dude, okay, Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099. I cannot speak to how excited I am for this.
Yeah.
If you have followed me at all anywhere in my podcast journey, you know how much Spidey 2099 means to me because it was the first time I saw a character of my own ethnicity
Yeah.
being portrayed in comic books and, in a bigger world. And he's been in a handful of video games, and that's fucking awesome. And now we're getting a film version of him, voiced by a Latino as well.
Yeah.
So they're carrying his heritage, which I love, because sometimes that gets blurred.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking proud, and I can't wait to show my son that.
There you go. Yeah, of course.
And he looks kind of like an antagonist in the film, which I'm really excited to see how they're going to balance that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I'm just really, really excited for that. Man.
And to go back to the cast in the first one, Nicolas Cage, John Mulaney, friggin' Liev Schreiber. We had Catherine Hahn. I mean, dude, we had
Catherine Hahn.
She was
such a great little highlight.
In that movie. Yeah.
Olivia, Dr. Olivia Octavius.
And that movie, really surprised me in a way, because I was familiar with a lot of the Spider-Man villains in the comics and stuff like that, not too crazy with it, but I watched the animated I watched the animated series when I was a kid, and so on and so forth. So even I didn't know that Aaron Davis was the Prowler. I did not know Uncle Aaron was the Prowler. I had no idea of that. I did know that, because of Spider-Man Homecoming, that Donald Glover played Aaron Davis, and he's like, I got a nephew here. And I'm like, hey, that's a Miles Morales reference. Got that. Okay, cool. So at least I knew that part. But then when it was really, he was the Prowler, that blew my mind. And then when Olivia Octavius was Doc Ock in that movie, I was like, what in the fuck, man? There were so many surprises, and the fact that Liev Schreiber played the Kingpin in that movie, I was like, it felt to me just like I was a kid again watching the Spider-Man animated series, because the animation style wasn't similar at all, but it was so cool.
Just the feeling of that.
But it gave me feelings of the 90s for some odd reason, just through the animation style. It was a great movie.
It was something it tapped into something nostalgic.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I love that movie, and that's why I cannot wait for Across the Spider-Verse. It's going to be so much fun.
Love that. Well, speaking of things we were into as kids, for me, Dracula, the 1941 film, Bela Lugosi. Based on the original novel, but we're getting a film that actually dives into one of its characters. Yeah. And it hasn't really been fleshed out in films properly, and that's Renfield.
Yeah, I heard a lot about this. Don't know much about it. But
they're taking it in a really interesting direction that I'm very excited for. There are Easter eggs in the trailer that are direct fucking links to the book, and things that are I just never. Okay, when this film was announced, I was like, okay, how are they going to approach this? I heard it was comedy horror, but I wasn't completely sure. Have you seen the trailer at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, I will not give something away, because I would really, or should I say it just to see what?
No, I'll watch it for myself.
Okay, cool. And then let me know how you react.
Okay.
But I just really like the direction. The direction they're heading in with this. Mm-hmm. It looks very off the wall, and that's all I will say.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm into it. Way. I like Off the Walls.
Yeah.
Next up for me at number 9, this might shock you too. The Little Mermaid.
I had a feeling only because off air, but we had a conversation, you, me, and Tim.
Yeah, that's right. We did. That's right.
It was shortly after it was announced, and of course, all the controversy that came with it. Even though it had been developed for a while, but then once I feel like everything became official, that's when everyone decided to be mad.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a bigger conversation within and of itself. But I remember you were really, really for it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I had a feeling this would be on your list. If not, I for sure thought it was going to be in your honorable mentions. But I know this is a film you're hyped for.
Oh, I'm very hyped for it, bro. I cried during the trailer. Straight up.
You told me that during the song, right?
Bro, she fucking murdered that song. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even and after watching the trailer, after I left movie night that night from Tim's house, I watched The Little Mermaid from the cartoon version.
Yeah.
And that slaps so hard. That movie is so good. Dude, I can't wait.
I love seeing how excited you are for this, man.
Thanks, man.
This is a movie I want to check out as well. But and see, that's the thing too that I feel like with our friendship and our, I feel like within our friends as well. We may not be necessarily have the same hype level as things, but we love seeing each other get hyped.
Oh, totally, yeah,
and that adds to our hype.
Absolutely. So
bro. How jazzed you are about it. It's one of those things that I kind of want to see it with you just because of how jazzed you are,
dude. That would be great. I would love that. Now obviously with the history of the Disney live action films being also very divisive. A lot of them, I like them. And then there are some that I'm like, why'd you do that? You know what I mean? Like, I really liked Beauty and the Beast. I really liked Cinderella. Mulan was there. It was fine. It was fine. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like...
It made some interesting choices that necessarily didn't work in its favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It's just...
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it just... Yeah. My favorite live action is Maleficent.
Maleficent was great.
I fucking love that. And
Angelina Jolie is perfect. Perfect.
So good. So good.
Now, I wonder if they'll ever do Sleeping Beauty.
Well, see, that's the unique thing. I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. They don't need to.
And that's why I feel like Maleficent was able to shine the way it did, is that it gave us a story that we were familiar with, but also gave it to us from a different perspective.
Yeah, because
it added to it.
Yeah,
it wasn't
true.
just a regular remake.
Because I feel like in the first Maleficent, it was kind of like almost like I felt like maybe a continuation of Sleeping Beauty.
If anything, it was Sleeping Beauty, but from her perspective.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good one. That's a good point.
Mistress of Evil, the sequel, that would have been a continuation.
Yeah. And then what were some of the other? Oh, like The Lion King was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. The Jungle Book, though,
I love Jungle Book.
So good.
Jungle Book was really good.
Yeah. It just, the Lion... Cruella?
Woo!
Dude, honestly, that's probably the best live action anything that they've done.
That's
probably
number 2
is
for me. But yeah, it's up there. It's so fucking good.
That one for me was I guess you would say like a sleeper. It was unexpected, more or less. It was unexpected. I remember when I saw A Quiet Place Part 2, I saw the poster for it. I'm like, should I go watch this in the theater? I'm like, nah, it's going to Disney Plus. I'll just buy it. And then as soon as the movie was over, I was like, a lot of things ran through my mind. I was like, yo, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, I fucking should have saw that in the theater, because like just the music and just like how like colorful and vibrant it was. And oh my God. And Emma Stone is perfect. She did such a good job.
Oh, and I think what really, in a similar way to Maleficent, lent itself to be so great was that you had an original story.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a live action version of a character that was first introduced as a cartoon, but you had a chance to really write where the character was going to come from.
Yeah.
And I thought they nailed that really well. The time period, the music, the fashion, it just did an amazing job.
Yeah. What's next for you?
Next for me is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
The Guardians movies, I feel like you can't go wrong. I feel like they're solid films. This one I'm excited for because it just looks a lot darker than the other ones. And if you know me well enough by now, I prefer the darker shit.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't like the lighter stuff either, but like there's just so much more weight in this film, I feel, compared to the others. And it's my birthday movie this year.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Another reason to look forward to it.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to be completely honest, and this is probably people are going to stop this episode after I'm saying this. First, I don't think the Guardians movies are bad. I do not think they're bad, but I get bored of them.
Do you feel like they've been overhyped?
No.
Because that happened to me. Like, I remember loving the first Guardians movie, and then I felt like all of a sudden it became everyone's like favorite thing, and then it kind of wore away at me for a while. And I enjoyed a lot of the second, but didn't also enjoy a lot of it either. But I think the way they were established to me, I felt they were a little bit better handled in Infinity War.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going off.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing that I did for Black Panther when I rewatched it.
Oh, yes, right. I remember that.
Because when I rewatched Black Panther before Wakanda Forever came out,
I was shocked when you told me about that.
Blown away. Now, I had liked the movie prior, but I was like, it's good, but I didn't leave the theater going like, whoa!
And I was flabbergasted because I loved the first Black Panther.
Then when I rewatched it the week before Wakanda Forever came out, I was like, that's one of the best fucking Marvel movies like ever. It was so fucking good. So I bet, and the reason why I said that is because as in this journey of my, podcasting and all that stuff, it's been very well documented that at first, like right up until Infinity War, I didn't really it's not that I didn't care about the Marvel movies, but I would watch them because I was like, it's something to watch. It's superhero shit. I like superhero stuff. I can just watch it and have a good time, and that's it. Then, when I watched the entirety of the Infinity Saga on Disney Plus, I was like, yo, this is one of the most well-crafted stories literally ever.
Welcome, Billy.
And so I'm pretty sure now with how much I love it now as opposed to that time, if I were to watch them again, I'd probably be like, whoa! Because I remember when I first watched them, I was just like, when I did the first rewatch from when Disney Plus had them all, I was like, you know, this movie isn't bad, but I fell asleep during the first one, and I thought the second one was just really boring. But again, I'm sure because now I've had a lot more time with these characters, I can go back and rewatch it and be like, yo, this is a lot better than I remembered.
Well, let me know how that goes, man.
I will. I'll wait until it gets more towards the date to go see the third one.
Yeah, we have time.
It comes out in May, right?
Yeah, May 5th.
Okay. And then number 10 on my list was Shazam 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now I will go into my honorable mentions. And we had talked about this a little bit before recording. Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
Dude. I don't know.
First off, that's happening, by the way.
Yeah. And it's not a sequel to the movie that Eddie Murphy did.
No, it's not.
And if they do a nod to it or Easter eggs or something like that, cool, fine, I'll be there for it. But the two names that I saw, and three names that I remember seeing actually, Rosario Dawson, Lakeith Stanfield, and I think Danny DeVito.
I think so. I'll look it up right now.
Yes, please.
Yeah, no, this. Let's keep. Oh yeah. Well, now it moved because I'm moving.
You get a little bit of a BTS here at Enjoy the Show. You get a little bit of that.
Upcoming supernatural horror comedy film starring Rosario Dawson, Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, Winona Ryder, Dan Levy, Jared Leto, Danny DeVito, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
What a fucking cast, dude.
Yeah, fuck.
Wow. That is going to be incredible.
Everyone that's in this, I'm hyped for.
Yes,
Literally.
absolutely.
Literally.
That's going to be so good. And then another honorable mention that I have here, which I know you and I briefly talked about, and I know it's going to be on there because it comes out in February, Knock at the Cabin.
Yes. We talked about this.
That looks great.
It does. Because of the fact that I had 48 movies on here, I did feel the need to take it off. But no, I'm actually genuinely excited about that.
Yeah.
Like, I stayed away from everything I felt, and then I accidentally caught part of the trailer at the movies.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the cast alone did it for me.
Dave Bautista. Who else is in it?
Rupert Grint.
Oh, yeah!
The king from Hamilton. I forget his name. Just them being in it. Okay, cool. I didn't need anything. I wanted to go into it fresh because it's M. Night Shyamalan, and I like not knowing what I'm going to expect from him. And I saw some of the trailer when we went to the movies to see Avatar, and I mean, everything about it looks.
It looks great. It looks great. And then my next two honorable mentions, we already talked about Scream 6 and 65.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess narrowing out the rest of the year on my list of the things we haven't talked about is this film in particular has experienced a lot of fucking issues in pre-production, current production, post-production. Who knows what version of this film is going to be released, and that is The Flash.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm excited for it, too. You know, it was one of my most anticipated, and then, you know, with Ezra getting in trouble as much as they have, you know.
No, I mean, and that's totally warranted. And to me, it's less, I guess, of excitement for the film and more of I'm super curious as to what we're going to get.
Exactly.
Because of
I'm with that. Yeah.
everything that's happened with Ezra, but also everything that's happened within the bigger picture of the DC films.
Yeah.
Like
with the acquisition.
The acquisition,
stuff,
but the changes that were also happening because up until even before James Gunn and Peter Safran came on board as the new heads of the DCU moving forward, it looked like we were getting a movie that was going to give the DCEU a soft reboot. We had two Batman in this movie, have still currently. Ben Affleck's from the DCEU, and Michael Keaton was coming back.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton was even in the trailer, and his Batmobile. And it looked like the film was going to do something, of course, time travel. And it was going to affect the new universe going forward. And the plans that had and what was going to affect certain things, we now may never get to see any version of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe even version B or C or D.
Who knows?
I still don't know what version of this film we're getting.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm most intrigued about, because now that James and Peter are in charge, I can still see this movie doing something where it establishes the new status quo.
Okay.
Moving forward. We'll see if it still comes out this year.
Yeah, true.
One of the things I was really intrigued by also was Sasha Calles playing a Latina version of Supergirl and how they were going to establish that within their world. That looked really intriguing to me. Again, 2 different Batman. And then there was also a slew of other cameos that could have potentially happened or were going to happen. Wonder Woman, I feel, was one of them. Who knows? So I'm just really curious as to what version.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm there on that too. I also wanted to. There was another. Oh, Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Really excited for Blue Beetle. Yeah, that's going to be really sick.
Yeah.
I didn't put that in my honorable mentions, but I just remembered it as we were talking about DC. So,
yeah. No. I'm glad you brought it.
That's going to be great.
Would you like to tell the audience more about it?
What I like to tell the audience more about?
Because I've been talking.
No, I mean, like, I don't know much about it, but here's what I do know of it is Jolo Marduena, who is in this show, Cobra Kai.
Hey!
He is fantastic, and to see him be this, this hero in this story, which I know nothing of, but I don't need to, because to me, it's like, well, I like him in this show. I'm going to follow him with whatever he does, and then he gets to be in this. And I saw like pictures from the set and all that stuff, and I go, this looks fucking great. I can't fucking wait for this movie. It looks to me like almost like Ant-Man. Like it just looks and feels like, from just what I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is just going to be a good time.
Oh,
I'm very excited for it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I do see what you're talking about in reference to like the Ant-Man, and I do feel it's going to have a similar feel to that. Also with Spider-Man.
That too, yeah.
You have a young character who gets superpowers and how he comes to term with that, And the interesting thing is, and for those who are from, what's the word I'm looking for? Either just not just Latino, but like I feel like there's a lot of ethnic backgrounds of this where you cannot keep secrets from your parents. It just doesn't work. So that is one of the big differences between Jamie Reyes, the main character, and Peter Parker, where Peter has he does everything with a secret identity, and there's so much that Spidey succeeds, Peter fails, and vice versa, and everything that has to do with that. But there is a difference that Jamie's parents are aware. Yeah. And this might have been too much spoiler territory.
No, it's fine with me.
But it is intriguing to see what happens when those things kind of come into play.
Yeah.
And George Lopez is also in the movie.
Oh,
and
shit.
The entire cast is Latino. So to see Latino superheroes like that in a big way, I'm just really excited for. Another thing to show my son. And,
there you go.
In terms of, just seeing that on stage, on screen.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I want to get into some television shows real quick. Now, we're coming up to an hour.
If I may. Oh, okay. Ooh, so the fact that we're coming up to an hour and I still have 2 films I want to talk about.
Talk about them.
Should we have a part 2 of this that's dedicated to shows? Or have the episode keep running?
I kind of want to keep running.
Okay, then we'll keep running.
I'm on
fire. So the last 2 films I wanted to talk
about.
We're
on fire.
The last 3 films I wanted to talk about that I haven't discussed. I don't think my headphones work. I
they
didn't
do work.
Tell you. No, I don't hear anything out of them.
You don't hear anything out of them? What the fuck are you talking about?
I was thinking about saying something earlier, but then I did it, and now it's one of those things where it's too late.
Behind the scenes. You don't want to know what it is, probably?
I tried that. I think these are just the wrong headphones for it. Anywho, I apologize. Thank you for keeping me on board.
I'll bring my headphones for the next one.
All right, The Marvels.
Oh yeah.
So that is a sequel to Captain Marvel. It's a sequel to WandaVision, and it's a sequel to Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
And just seeing those 3 characters. Yeah, go ahead.
Wanda. Oh, yes, yeah, because Monica's in it.
Yes, Monica. Yeah. Oh, Monica Rambeau. I believe she will go by the moniker Photon, but we don't know just yet.
Okay.
Because she's had a couple in the comics. But just the fact that I feel this is. Now, as we're getting into this territory of the shows and the movies interweaving, it is the first film, correct me if I'm wrong, that really does pull things from a show going into it. Oh, actually, Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, that was basically a direct sequel.
Literally a direct
to WandaVision.
100%.
Lizzie had 2 days off between filming.
Oh gosh,
it's insane.
That poor girl.
She carried that.
Oh,
range
of course she
into-
did.
No, she's
Of course she
amazing.
did. No, she
so
did.
looking forward to Marvels. There's more films. The Nun 2. Loved the first Nun.
That was fun.
Terrifying. So much fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the second. Craven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Is Madam Web
is
coming out this
playing
year?
The character. No, that's 2024.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I know that's another. I mean, yes, that's another film to look forward to.
I want to see that so bad.
And everyone does. It's a Terminator-esque movie with a huge cast, and it looks absolutely awesome already. And then lastly, this last film I wanted to mention, Christmas Day, Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I've actually never seen that.
The first
one.
Aquaman? Oh,
Wow.
dude, go.
Okay.
Watch it. It's
Okay.
fun. Yeah. It's like Indiana Jones meets Atlantis meets...
Speaking of Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny this year.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun too.
I feel like I want to see that with my parents. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like that's a film.
Before that
for
comes
sure.
out, I'm actually going to rewatch because I've seen all of the Indiana Jones movies, especially the first three. I know I have seen, but it's been like 20 years.
Oh, I believe it.
It's been a long time. I saw the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull the night it came out, and that was it. And that movie was fine.
I never saw it because of that exact reaction I
Yeah.
got from a lot of people.
I mean,
never
you
got
know.
around to it. I mean, I'll watch it now, especially leading up to this.
Yeah.
And it's nothing, and I never didn't want to. I just,
But yeah, it's one of those ones where it was like, okay.
I hear it. So that was our movies. If you're still with us, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see how much we can get through without going overboard.
Fuck it. Who cares? We'll do what we want,
Well,
right?
I guess, but yeah, all right, let's do it.
I mean, unless you have to like.
Oh no, I'm
get
fine.
going.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more of our listeners if they want to keep
I'm
going.
I'm not. We don't have to like really discuss these television shows just because it's going to be a lot. But let's just
let's
let's
list
just
them.
say
Yeah,
what they
let's
are.
go for it.
And this is for me in particular order, and one of them is already out right now. So number 1, season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Number 2, season 2 of Yellow Jackets. Ahsoka.
Yep.
Secret
that's on my
Invasion.
list. Yep, on my list.
The Last of Us has already premiered by this point, and that episode was
good.
fucking
Fuck.
incredible. Cannot wait to see what else happens. It's probably gonna shatter you every episode. I cried during the first episode.
Same.
Which part did you cry at? I mean, obviously the one.
I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but yes, that I think we're pretty sure we're talking about the same scene.
Yeah, we're talking about the same
Yeah,
scene. But
before the
even,
time jump.
But even before
that.
dude. I'm spoiler alerting this. When they're driving through the city
Oh, that was epic.
and the plane crashed behind them, I don't know why, but I cried.
Really?
I think it was just so
real. It felt real.
It felt real.
The POV, like the one shots scene.
I just for some odd reason, I just felt like I was there in that car with them.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do.
And it captured it so well.
And that was literally like nearly scene by scene adaptation of the game. Like it was incredible.
And see, that's what's great. I've never played the video game myself. My old roommate from like 10 years ago, when the first game came out, I watched him play it for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, I have my YouTubers that I watch, Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns, and Jeremy Johns was talking about how,
Chris's film is coming out this year.
dude, Shelby Oaks, let's go, dude! I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be so good. What's it called? Jeremy Johns was talking about, and this is another spoiler alert, at the end of the first episode of The Last of Us, where Tess, Joel, and Ellie are being held at gunpoint by that one guard, and where they show her her mark, that is almost a shot by shot of the video game. And I was like, that's fucking cool, dude. I love shit like that.
Well, I mean, it's also we're finally getting video game adaptation the way it's supposed to be. And not to say that all video game adaptations have been bad, but like when you actually do a lot of them, when you actually care about the source material and you put people in charge that care about it too, you get products like this.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So
And there was one more thing I wanted to hammer away in there. I forgot. Anyways, okay, so The Last of Us, that was another one. Loki season 2, Ted Lasso season 3, You season 4, the show with Lizzie Olsen,
yes, Love and Death.
Love and Death. Looking forward to that. And then The Mayfair Witches.
Yeah.
That is going to be awesome. Is
Have
that
you
out
seen
yet?
it yet? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it already started.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yes.
okay. No, I have not seen it yet, but I love Alex Daddario, so
Yeah.
I will be tuning in.
No, it's intriguing. It's definitely. I feel like some people. Well, I didn't have an issue with it at all because I pay attention. A lot of people felt
Right.
like it jumped around too much between different timelines, and I'm like, but it's part of the. Just watch. Get off your phone and just pay attention to the TV.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
real,
like that's
people.
always
Come
the
on.
case.
Come on.
But I had a good time with it. And was that the end of your list?
That's the end of my list.
Well,
yeah.
speaking of witches, that leads to the beginning of my list, and it's in alphabetical order. So I'm gonna mostly go the same way.
Yeah.
So we have Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
Okay, that is coming out.
That is coming out at the very end of this year.
Okay.
And it's a spin-off starring Agatha Harkness from WandaVision. Super excited to see where her character
That's gonna
goes.
be
Aubrey Plaza's in it.
Oh yeah.
Everything is pointing to her being Morgan Le Fay, which is a character from fucking like King Arthur and Merlin and all that shit with the Marvel version of her.
Yes,
So
sure, of course.
excited. Ahsoka, fuck yeah. The fact that it's basically a fucking sequel to Star Wars Rebels is insane to me.
That's gonna be cool.
The animated series, which I absolutely loved. Rosario, awesome. Echo, super stoked on that. A spin-off from her character from Hawkeye, but it's including Kingpin. Everything is pointing to including Daredevil, and their characters have such a rich history in the comics, and I'm really looking forward to in this. Last of Us, which we've already talked about. Loki season 2.
Yeah.
Just saying Loki season 2 is enough.
It's a breath of fresh air,
my
dude.
God.
Cannot wait.
Just the first season. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Love and Death, Lizzie Olsen show in which she plays a bored suburban housewife that slowly descends into madness and becomes an axe murderer.
Basically Wanda.
And I mean,
In Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, there's
a little bit of
there's
a-
some similarity. Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So if it is anything like that, she's gonna fucking nail it.
Oh,
of course.
totally.
I have Mandalorian. Yes, I have my calendar marked. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Especially because Book of Boba Fett was basically Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah, it
Like, the back half was literally
yeah.
definitely. So,
Yeah.
Secret Invasion, yes. Nick Fury, Skrulls, Amelia Clark.
Can't go wrong.
Yes, 100%. Superman and Lois, one of the best DC shows that there ever has been. I'm super fucking excited.
Okay.
The way it blends its story, its action, its family, everything. Me, I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and that just ended, but we are getting 2 spin-off shows. The Dead City, starring Negan and Maggie, and then Rick and Michonne's show. And these are both coming out this year, and I'm excited to keep seeing that. I know for a lot of people, it did take a dip. And I get that. I stuck in there because I really needed it to.
Yeah, of course.
And it all paid off in the end because at the end it got really, really good. So I'm excited for those. Witcher season 3, which will be the last season of The Witcher in my book. 'Cause that's where Henry Cavill ends after season 3.
Okay.
Where he exits. And that's a whole fucking... I'm so pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Fuck you, writers. Wolfpack. Starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. She is back, everyone.
Yeah.
She is
You were
back.
talking about
She's
this.
in a supernatural horror werewolf series by the same people who made the Teen Wolf show that I was talking about earlier. It's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo Santoro's in it, who was in Westworld, and I'm super excited about that. Werewolves. Yellow Jackets season 2.
Let's go.
Have purposely not seen a shred of promotional material.
Good.
Looked up anything because it is such a unique show with its mystery and the way things come intertwined. I want to go into it as fresh as possible.
Yep.
All I know is that Elijah Wood joined the cast.
Yeah,
that is it. That is it. And that sentence alone.
That's great.
And You season 4.
Yes.
Which I have also not seen anything on purpose.
I have not either.
But I've heard that it's basically that it is Joe Humphrey fan fiction from his. Sorry, not Joe Humphrey.
Joe Goldberg.
Yeah, no. Oh my God,
Humphrey.
Dan Humphrey. Thank you. Dan Humphrey from Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
That it is fan fiction of his character. So
okay.
I haven't seen what I've been sent from friends on purpose.
That's funny.
But I told them I will watch it once I watch the show. But yeah, that is everything we are looking forward to this year.
Oh, this is going to be a great year, dude. I cannot wait to talk about all of these movies and TV shows with you when the time comes. It's going to be great.
Yes.
What is your guys' most anticipated list of 2023?
Is there anything we missed? Is there anything that shouldn't be on our list? What do you guys think? Let us know.
Let us know down in the comments. Arturo, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram Arkham_Arturo.
And I am at The Real Billy Sweeten. You can also follow Enjoy the Show podcast on Instagram. Follow us there. I'm going to be doing some real footage going forward on that. We'll take some clips and make them all funny and nice and quippy, maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. It. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. We appreciate it. This is the beginning of a new year. We expect to have new content on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
We like doing this. We enjoy our new setup very much.
Oh, yeah. This is such a good... All his idea, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I wanted some... Like, I just... It feels right.
It feels good.
It feels right.
You know,
really,
we can move around. We can shucking and jiving. You know, when we're sitting on the couches, we don't really like get that freedom.
It just wasn't the same. So I'm glad we're doing this. This episode has been recorded at Dark Side Studios in Orange County, California.
That it has been. We'll see you guys next time.